You don't have a discipline problem. If you did, you wouldn't start so many things in the first place. Think about it. You get excited, you make plans, and you imagine how good it's going to feel when it's done. And then something shifts. The motivation disappears, you start avoiding it, and you tell yourself you'll do it tomorrow until eventually you just stop. And now you're left with unfinished things and one quiet thought in the back of your mind. What's wrong with me? But here's the truth no one tells you. You don't struggle with finishing. You struggle with what happens after the excitement fades. Starting feels good, but finishing doesn't. Starting gives you dopamine, a sense of identity, and the feeling that you're becoming someone who is changing their life. You tell yourself you're going to the gym, starting a business, or finally getting your life together. That version of you feels real in that moment. But finishing is different. It's slow, repetitive, and uncomfortable. There's no instant reward, no emotional high, just consistency. And your brain is wired to chase the feeling, not the process. So when the excitement disappears, your brain assumes it's no longer worth it, even when it is. There are deeper reasons why this keeps happening, and none of them have anything to do with laziness. First, you're addicted to the idea of progress. Planning feels like progress. Thinking about doing something feels like progress, and even consuming content about it feels like progress. But none of that is actually doing the thing. So you get stuck in a loop where you start, feel good, lose motivation, quit, and repeat. Not because you can't finish, but because your brain already got the reward. Second, you fear what finishing actually means. If you never finish, you never have to face the result. Finishing means your work gets judged. What if it's not good enough? What if no one cares? What if you fail after actually trying? Quitting early protects you. It keeps your potential safe. As long as it's unfinished, you can still believe you could have done it if you really tried. Third, you rely on motivation instead of structure. Motivation comes in waves, and if your system depends on feeling motivated, you will only show up when it's easy. That means you disappear the moment it's not. People who finish things aren't more motivated. They're just less dependent on how they feel. Over time, this creates something more dangerous than unfinished tasks. It creates an identity. You start to believe that you're someone who doesn't follow through, and once you believe that, you act in alignment with it. You hesitate earlier, doubt yourself faster, and expect yourself to quit. So even before things get hard, part of you is already checked out. But that identity isn't who you are. It's just a pattern you've repeated enough times that it feels true. You don't fix this by trying harder. You fix it by changing how you approach things. Stop chasing motivation and assume you won't feel like doing it. Make the task smaller, make it easier to start, and lower the barrier. Starting consistently matters more than starting perfectly. Also, start finishing things badly. Perfection is one of the biggest reasons you quit, so change the rule. Don't finish it perfectly, just finish it. A bad finished project is always more valuable than a perfect unfinished one, because finishing builds something more important than results. It builds trust in yourself. Detach your identity from the outcome. You are not your results, you are your actions. If you show up consistently, even when it's messy, you are already becoming someone who follows through. And that identity builds over time. Also, expect the dip. Every project has a moment where it stops being exciting. That is not a sign to quit. That is the exact point where most people do. If you can push through that phase, everything changes. Starting is easy, which is why most people stay there. They live in potential, in ideas, in one day. But your life doesn't change when you start. It changes when you continue long after it stops being exciting. So if you recognize yourself in this, it doesn't mean you're lazy or lack discipline. It means your brain learned to chase the feeling of progress instead of the reality of it. And that can be unlearned. because the version of you that finishes things is not a different person. It's just you who kept going when it got boring. And that's where everything changes. If this made you reflect, you're not alone. On this channel, we break down the patterns that keep you stuck so you can finally move forward. I'll see you in the next video.